Anti-Afro Bengalis. I wanted to say a few words about some of this madness that's swirling around in and around the Umar Johnson sector. First order of business, I'm ecstatic about the content that's being put out about Umar. And I'm speaking more specifically on people focusing on what a fraud he is. Now, there are some people who have seen the light, who were very well grounded in their intentions, and realize that Umar Johnson is a fraud. That's one category. You have others who really didn't know that much about Umar, so it's not an irritant to hear recycling of information that we already know that's been out there. And then you have another group who know what happened. They know exactly what happened, and they're playing the nut roll, acting like they are the ones that discovered everything, and now they're here to educate the world. When it comes down to it, however the information gets out, it gets out. Things don't change when it comes to Umar Johnson. That's another video. I can focus more on that. I want to speak more about these freaks that don't seem to understand that their problem is themselves. Their problem is their boredom. They claim to be down with each other. Oh, yeah, we're down together. But then again, they write solo. They say that they're together, and then they talk about how I don't depend on nobody, I don't need nobody, I don't answer to no one. If ever there was a group disaster, it would be those subjects who perpetrated as if they were trying so hard to make Umar Johnson legit, and Umar Johnson was being picked on. They found a way to try to get Umar Johnson's attention, so they focused on a very small number of people. That's a group I'm talking about. They become so bored. This is their tendency, this is their cycle. They whip themselves up in a frenzy, patting each other on the back, then they get let down, disappointed because those who they were targeting disappoint them with the response. They're looking for responses and reactions on their terms. What they don't like is when their targets give responses or reactions or don't say anything at all, which means they're operating on their own terms. And I include myself in that second group. But there's one thing that continues to remain hard and fast. When these losers, these ingrates, these scapegoaters, these abusers, I wouldn't even call them bullies. And the reason why I'm not going to call them bullies is because they are afraid of their own shadow. If someone comes after them with some heavy duty fact, some shaming, they're embarrassed. What do? They find a way to throw in AFW. They've been dragged up and down the hot coal blacktop on a 115-degree day with layers of skin coming off. All of that going on. What do they say? AFW, AFW. This is a supreme mark of a top rate coward or cowards plural. They don't know what to do with themselves because they're incredibly bored, waiting for their targets to be dutiful in responding to them. But we have other things that we consider a priority, and it's not entertaining these freaks who don't like each other. They're so consumed with what we have going on. They continue to call us irrelevant, but they keep talking about us. Most of their live streams have who are the subject? AFW, friends and supporters. They're incredibly frustrated because they anticipated something that never materialized. A perfect example of this one ingrate, the drunken monkey, cannot handle the fact that Umar Johnson kicked him to the curb. Umar Johnson wants nothing to do with him. So what does he want to do? He wants to figure out a way to verbalize a version of history that simply never happened. The truth itself is not bad enough. The truth itself will not allow this drunken monkey to implicate us. The truth itself doesn't make us look bad. The truth is just what it is. So, what did this drunken monkey do? He decided to have a sneak panel and was just talking all kinds of greasy shit about us, lying on us, because the truth was not allowing him to say what he wanted to say and make it stick. So he had to go behind a paywall, charge $4.99 a pop, and lie about us. He wanted to make sure he put the lies out there to the idiots that were listening to him so they can come back when they get off the sneak panel and start spreading around lies. I mean, the lies were A to Z. Talking about Rev G's family, saying Rev G smoked. I mean, giving all kinds of opinions. And opinions, on one hand, serve a purpose. But when you're talking about subjects like this, opinions only serve one purpose. It's one-sided. And the other side has a chance to weigh in. Now I'm a victim. Now they are harassing me. And the same thing happened just a couple of days ago when this ex-boot knockers, I don't want to call the person a girlfriend, and I hate to be crude, but that's how Umar Johnson views women, as boot knocking opportunities. So one of his ex-boot knockers was on King Kong Crud's panel and brought up Gerald Palmer's name, because the Pastor Bussy name is referring to Gerald Palmer. Umar Johnson, I could go on more about this, knows that Rev G has never stopped. Rev G just is not online reporting what he's doing. So when Umar gets stressed, maximum stress, Umar is going to bring that to the YouTube streets or the social media world. He's not going to do it at the beginning. He's going to do it when the situation is at its peak. It really is nothing new. Not new at all. It's only noticeable because so few of Umar Johnson's ex-boot knockers will come out and go public because they don't want their lives dragged up and down the social media world. Those who come out are few and far between. Okay, people are going to listen. Another can of small worms are open. It's just the same thing that happens over and over. This person brought up Rev G's name, Gerald Palmer. Oh my goodness. So the drunken monkey gets jealous and starts to bash and trash us. Then I got this message here. Why are you so mad at this drunken monkey? Because I posted some messages on the wall. The drunken monkey will do any and everything he can to figure out a way to implicate us in something that has nothing to do with us. He is known for stabbing those in the back who he likes to brag about being his friend. Oh, check this out.
Anti-Afro Svengali, she likes to send out fillers. She'll send people to befriend you and get information, from you. And I said that it was Mona De Leon who infiltrated our account to gather as much information as she possibly could. Again, instead of trying to prove that I'm a deadbeat dad, how about you stop lying to these people and let them know your family is in this sector so people can choose whether or not they really want to attack you or not. Do we want to attack Rev G and his family or not? Now, you can't get out of it now. It's proof. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Yeah, they have gotten this. And not only that, I'm just gonna say this real quick. Mona, I don't appreciate how you gave Remix my father's phone number. I don't know how you got it. I don't know what you doing with it. But I don't appreciate that shit. I don't appreciate Remix saying, hey, you leave family out of it. But then turn around. I guess maybe he thought he was calling me. But I don't appreciate my father calling me saying that he got a voicemail about King Kong Crazy. So that's what we have this shit now. Hey man, that's what we doing. Yeah, oh yeah. Y'all didn't know your girl got that dirty. Yeah. She gave Remix my father's phone number. I can call my daddy and let him play the voicemail. Yeah, she did that. Yeah. And it's like, okay. So you that mad that you gotta give out my dad's phone number? What you doing with my dad's phone number, bro? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What you doing, man? I ain't trying to hear no, man, I'm being disrespectful. Fuck all that. Why did you give this dude my dad's number, man? All right? So, like I said, they say that, oh, we don't want it to get this serious, and they keep escalating it.
Every single thing that just came out of his mouth, he tried to put on me, including when Mona gave a phone number, his dad's phone number, to Remix, the B-Sector reject. He tried to blame it on me. How the hell do I have King Kong Crud's dad's phone number? What the hell are you talking about? You're such an idiot. We don't even go back over to those spaces. That's the kicker right there. We don't go into those spaces, into those places. They are the ones following us around trying to figure out what new lie can we make up? What greater slander can we put on them now? Because they are not satisfied that we moved on. We were the ones that left. I sent people to be friends with people on him. What the hell for? I got the hell up out of there. Never went back. This is a fool who runs around chasing after us on platforms he never goes to. So he has to go and make up lies. He has to go and talk shit about Rev G's family. He has to go and judge Rev G as a pastor, as a family man. I mean, he's coming for Rev G's life from A to Z. How much sense does it make that this drunken monkey will pass judgment on Rev G when he's up here telling the world that he's become a deacon in his church? A deacon in training who's up here calling women bitches and whores and passing judgment on someone else's calling. A deacon, but he runs around drunk as a skunk and smoking weed. Online, a deacon? Is that what a deacon is supposed to do? Well, I'll tell you this much. Considering what the drunken monkey does, what he's doing actually isn't that unusual. I want you to take a look at what happened. Recently, or not that long ago, this is how I definitely could see this drunken monkey. This is up his alley. So maybe we shouldn't be surprised.
Plenty of speculation surrounding the shooting of Pastor Ricky Floyd outside Mama's Bar and Kitchen March 12th. Phone video captured what appears to be some of the final moments of Pastor Floyd's life. It shows the Tahoe truck he is in putting on brakes, Pastor Floyd getting out, walking toward the person shooting the video as they yell to back up.
I'm backing back 3 times now. When I do that, you know, back the up. Back the up.
Then the video drops out. WREG sat down with the attorneys for Samantha Marion, charged with shooting Pastor Floyd to death. They say the video speaks for itself.
The video does not capture the gunfire that would have taken place probably maybe 3 or 4 seconds later, but it clearly shows him approaching her aggressively after being told several times to stop and that he should not be, walking up on her like that.
Keith Perry says his client, Samantha Marion, was behind the camera shooting the video, and it came after Marion and a man she had met that night got into a heated religion discussion with Pastor Floyd inside the bar. Perry says when everyone was leaving, Pastor Floyd walked toward Marion, and the man got between them.
He stands in front of Reverend Floyd. He's knocked to the ground by Reverend Floyd, and when he does, the back of his head hits the pavement, and he becomes a little stunned or dazed. Reverend Floyd then takes the telephone of Miss Marion and he throws it to the ground, and he hurled a couple of insults or what have you, and then starts to walk off.
That's when he says Samantha Marion picks up her phone and starts videoing the license plate of the truck, since she had never met Floyd before. That's where the video picks up.
Whatever triggered him, he was upset with Mrs. Marion. He fought through two individuals to get to her, and watching him storm from the vehicle and approach her, it was clear that his intentions was definitely not to give her a hug and say, hey, let's work this out. But he had aggression in his heart and in his mind.
WREG acknowledges that this is only one piece of video from that night, and it does not include what police have described as Pastor Floyd holding his hands up and walking backwards away from Marion before falling to the ground.
The outcome remains to be seen, but how did it even get to that point to begin with? To the point where you're arguing with people about religion in a bar at, 1:30 or 2:30 in the morning, and you're married? Well, I think the scruples of this drunken monkey lined straight up with this pastor or reverend who met his demise in a most unfortunate way. But when you have alcohol in the mix, you use it irresponsibly, you're not showing that you're a family man, herein come the risk. But this drunken monkey was trying to put all this shit on Rev G, that he was sneaking around and smoking and criticizing his calling. Who do you think is more likely to end up in the situation that you just saw? You can answer that one for yourselves. This reverend, I think I called him a pastor, was also known to be extremely verbally aggressive towards women. It looked in that video he's prepared to get physical, but he sure was targeting and was trying to beeline for the woman. This reverend was online screaming at the top of his lung, verbally abusing women, and he's supposed to be a reverend? Whose moral character lines up more with the reverend that met his demise? Well, you have this drunken monkey trying to force a situation by putting all these lies on Rev G that have nothing to do with him. The woman he was talking about, Mona De Leon, got stabbed in the back by this drunken, stabbed in the back. The one who stole Umar Johnson's moniker and wants to talk shit about other people as far as him being the first and he's above them. He stabbed this woman in the back when she's part of this group he had going, the group that I would not be a part of. I initially said yes, and I said, you know what? I don't trust all these people in this group. Come to find out, he was recording all the conversations. That's a backstabber. Then he put her up on the Summer Jam screen right in front of the world and humiliated her with Kevin Samuels' quips. You know, Kevin Samuels would say certain things like, you're going to die alone. He would make these statements, and people came to know him by these offensive statements he would make. He put her up on the Summer Jam screen and dogged her out. And she was very upset, but she eventually went back. She was asking me about it, talking to me about it. And I said, you know what? If somebody dogged me out in public like that, it's over. Like, set me up, because it was a setup. It was disgusting because he didn't pay for any of that. Dr. Clay paid for everything. He didn't even put any money into anything, and he got up there and disrespected a so-called friend who was part of his, quote, group, this group they had together, which I did not join. That wasn't enough. Then he wouldn't put all their messages out there, personal conversations. This is a low-down, dirty cad, and was pissed because we freaking got the hell up out of his chat. So all he wants to do is find ways to bring our name up or talk shit about us. And he has to lie because the truth simply isn't going to do it. The truth isn't bad enough. A lot of resentment. He's dissatisfied with his own channel. He's dissatisfied with those on his platform. He scared Creole Angel Hair Pasta into silence. She used to be very active, very participatory. But we know He's terrified that she'll leave that platform. I don't know how she left the platform. I haven't been over there. If she leaves the platform and goes somewhere else, she'll have to change her name like others have done. There have been several people who have left that nasty, disgusting, vile slave plantation and sent us emails saying, I was this name over in King Kong Crazy's chat, but I could not. Basically, they said every time they try to say anything that's against what he says, he starts questioning whether somebody's sending them, what they're doing there, and why they're saying this and why they say that, and don't even consider going to another platform without his approval. He considers that treasonous. It could be a platform that's not even anti-drunken monkey. He gets extremely intimidated. He gets very threatened. It's very oppressive. So they give us the new screen name, and now they're just participating under a new screen name with great relief. But still, this fool, this cad, this ingrate, this backstabber, who did not even build that channel. Other people built the channel. He is incredibly ungrateful and resentful. Always seems to find a way to run his mouth, then cry just as loudly when we decide we defend ourselves. He, as you just saw here, will take action and try to do something to harm you. He tried to come in between me and Rev G by showing some tired ass emails that neither of us cared about. Didn't work. Did not work. He tried to drive wedges between people who have solid, supportive relationships, and was so upset when he learned that Dr. Clay and I had been speaking all along. Who says we have to come here to these YouTube streets and get permission from this fool or get approval from him when it comes to who we're going to talk to? This is the expectation, but he was pissed off. A great friend to Dr. Clay, right? That Dr. Clay left the microphone open. When he was on the platform, we went over there to tell those fools he has no issues with me. They recorded our conversation. Some friend. This dude is got to have no life. You record your so-called friends' conversations and play it live. That proves the point. He's a backstabber. He's an ingrate. If you don't do exactly what he wants you to do, he starts to make up all kinds of lies about you and will do anything he can to figure out how to make money in the process. But since this person did ask me, if I so choose to respond to this piece of shit and the lies that he's telling about me and my friends, I'll do it. This includes videos. She's talking about videos, the person here. I have the live streams where he's referring to me by the name bitch and hoe like 20 times. Now, does that offend me? No. Here's the part. When the problems become astronomical. Since you want to use your free speech rights and call me bitches and hoes, I'll talk about any and everything I want to about you. But at least what I'm saying is the truth. The truth. Here's another little tidbit. Here's another little secret this idiot doesn't know. If you are a monetized channel, he's already lost monetization once. Even if you delete a video, it can be submitted for a community guidelines complaint, although it's been deleted from YouTube. You can't do that for copyright complaints, but you can do it for community guidelines. And I've got plenty of these videos with the links where he's talking all kinds of greasy, vile, abusive, disgusting, just completely outside of the realm of YouTube guidelines, especially for those who are monetized. So this fool doesn't even know that he's the one treading on thin ice. So there's plenty of reasons to speak the truth and say what I damn well please about this drunken monkey who is incredibly resentful, still not happy, still not satisfied with the channel that he has. If he was so happy with the people over on his page, what's the reason he has to venture out and try to find ways to get at us and talk shit about us? Because he's bored, because he's defeated, because he knows he couldn't get to us in the way he wanted to. We didn't need him, he needed us. Same goes for these other fools. They could be making a lot more money now than the chump change they're making if we continued what we were doing with the Umar Johnson content. We just moved it offline. So I will continue to speak out. I will continue to say whatever the hell I want. These cowards, whenever they have a problem with each other, they don't like each other anyway, cannot stand each other. What do? They start to throw in AFW. Well, let me tell you this. There's always a way to come back and fight on our terms, which are 100% legal. They don't have to involve lying on anyone. But if these subjects around here, these demonic freaks, these lowlifes, these backstabber, loser ingrates, want to insist that it's about free speech, I could say what I want. Why are people getting all excited? Well, then sit back and wait and watch. See what happens when it's reciprocated. It's reciprocated with the truth, something they cannot tolerate, something they cannot stand, even if it comes out of their own mouth. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to know about it. They want to forget about it. They want to tell us to shut up. Don't talk about it. No, we're going to talk about what we want to talk about when we want to talk about whatever we want to talk about, not what you want us to say. And these cowards can't even face each other. They can't stand each other, and they don't even have the guts to confront each other with their own bullshit. They keep trying to pull us into everything. But when we decide, oh, guess what we're going to do? We're going to have a response on our terms. Now we become what? We're harassing people. We're doxing people, although the shit is already out there. But it's okay for them to steal social security numbers. It's okay for them to try to pay to have young Pharaoh's medical records sent, like King Kong Crazy did. I'll say your name because you know you did it. Want to talk shit about everybody? What about your raggedy ass situation? Always trying to bring our name up. We're not involved with this dude, but he's always trying to find a way to pull us back into the mix. But still, this fool, this cad, this ingrate, this backstabber who did not even build that channel. Other people built the channel. He is incredibly ungrateful and resentful. Always seems to find a way to run his mouth, then cry just as loudly when we decide we defend ourselves. Well, we're going to keep doing just what we're doing. We're going to decide the terms of our responses if and when we want to respond. Listen, folks, you know I got more coming your way. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.